The Evening Show starts now.
This one is dedicated to all of me queen. I heard you had a rough day yesterday. I heard about the hurtful things they said to you. It made you feel some kind of way.
Good evening and welcome to your new home. Yes, welcome to your place of solace. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the evening show. Thank you so much. Yes, ladies. Yes. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. As promised, August 2nd, ladies, we are here. We are here and we are streaming. Now listen, I waste no time as I introduce alongside me my radiant co-host. We have the lady Rachel Cowie-Clarke. She's the co-owner of Anything Honey and one of the sweetest and most bubbly personalities you can find. Rachel, say hello to the folks. Say hello to the folks.
Hello to everybody out there. I am happy to be your co-host with Mel and Mel.
Mel is right. Two Mels. Let me waste no time in introducing the other Mel. And I like the fact that I can I always get, hey Mel. And when Mel was introduced to my life, I felt so complete. I felt square. Joke. Okay, right. Let me waste no time introducing the beautiful Melina de Silva. She's the owner of Beauty with Grace Salon and Spa. Organized, focused, and intentional are three words that best describe her. Melina.
Aww.
Yeah, I know you had no idea this is how I felt about you. Melina, say hello to the people.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to finally be here live with you all. Looking forward to all that we'll share together.
Yes, indeed. So, ladies, as promised, the evening show is finally here. And listen, we have so much in store, so much to offer and to give to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, the world at large. So what are some of the things?
Friend, we don't want to be standing up here and talking all this good stuff and nobody's listening. Okay.
Yes.
So pause.
Send a WhatsApp call quick. Pick up your phone, do it while you're seeing us talking and just start a dial. Send them text and then start.
Because once we start to talk, you don't want to leave your screen. Okay?
Oh yeah. And let's just give them an idea of what is expected. Mm-hmm. Listen, we have beauty tips. On this very, very first episode, we have some beauty tips. Yes, by our very own Melina de Silva. Yeah, Mel. Yeah. Beautiful.
And we'll be talking about legacy as well, leaving a legacy.
Yes, we will.
Which is very important. Ladies, what does that statement even mean to each of you individually? And how important?
Yeah. So for me, leaving a legacy is so important. I have 4 kids, as you all will soon find out. Yes, 4 kids. I have 2 boys and 2 girls. And coming out from a family where you start to check back to see what are the things that have been passed on and what you want to change in terms of what has been left. Yeah. You now focus on, okay, when I leave, what am I leaving behind for these children? What are the things that they're going to carry on? What are they going to remember? What are they going to, even now, like when I send my kids off to school, I always tell them, remember, you are above average. You are a child of God, and that is who you represent. And so you try to, from time to time, just instill things and to make sure certain things are constant in their ear. So you're mindful of the things that you do. You're mindful of the decisions that you make because you know those things are going to impact them in their future. Do I want to leave a legacy where they're saying to themselves, boy, mommy and daddy could have done so much more for us, and I wish they did. It would have been so much easier. This would have been less stressful. So it's just really trying to make their life easier, to not let them have to face the struggles and the hardships that you went through. It's not like you want to take away everything, because of course it's life, and you want them to experience the fullness of life, the ups and downs, the curves, the potholes, the mountains, the valleys, the celebrations.
It is necessary.
It's necessary, but if you could take away some of the harshness of it and smoothen some of the edges, to me, that's where legacy comes in.
I think that is so true and so on point, because I mean, for me, I don't have children, but I have nieces, I have nephews, and I'm very much involved in the life of our church. And a lot of what people learn, or the younger ones that come after you, learn based on what they see and the examples that are set. And I want to be that person that would have set a good example based on the life that I have lived. And, you know, where I have gone before, to fine tune a little bit and help somebody else come along to see, all right, this is what you could have done a little better. And help people in areas, especially where, for me, I didn't like to fail. And for me, failing is something that took me a while to deal with. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do I move forward faster? And I remember hearing the statement, fail fast. And if I could help somebody to know, when you fail fast, and failure is okay, not that it's not an option, failure is a part of life, you know, and that legacy of moving forward. Don't let procrastination steal your time. And for me, sometimes you put it off and you say, oh God, I'll try again some other time. And you know, you're not ready to deal with it again. And the fact that time just ticks by, the legacy helps people come after you, learn from the lessons that you already learned. You learned that, I have learned that time waits on no man. You hear people say, but when you look back and you wonder, it's 5 years gone already. When Mel contacted me concerning this, and I saved Melina's number, and I looked back and I said, what is what, 8, Mel?
8 years and some months.
It's been 8 years, right? And I was like, oh, time waits on no man. So legacy is learning from your mistakes. To me, legacy is creating a path. Legacy is, what do I want people to say about me that after I have left? Every day we are writing our own eulogy. And I think about that, you know, because has the person that the people that I've spoken with today become any better because I spoke? You know, and little things, it's the little things. And we can share and speak into people's lives. The word says the generation of the righteous shall be blessed. And you know, sometimes as children of God, we might be fearful concerning something. You would have learned along the way, speaking the word made a difference. And somebody along the way, and you say, here, guess what, girl? The generation of the righteous shall
Hey,
you know, and learning to do things like that.
This is good. It's funny that you mentioned fear, because for me, for a number of years, I allowed fear to keep me back. And I know this is something so many, as I go through my journey in life, and now I'm talking about it, or have come to a place where I'm not where I was, or almost a place of total overcoming that fear of failure. That was my thing, fear of failure, to the point that I would not enter something or be a part of something if I had the slightest inclination that, I had the slightest inclination that I may fail at this. And that is something that I think has now made me realize, let me put this in. I have a daughter. I'm the mother of one 3-year-old going on 15, right? And I realize how important it is. What am I passing to her? Am I also going to, when she gets to a place where she's saying to me, hey, I don't think I want to do this. How can I encourage her? What can I teach her if I myself am at the same place? And that has really pushed me over the years to say, okay, I need to be a better me, not because of any selfish desire. I want to be a better me for her, for others, and for other young women that may be looking on. And I think it's so, that is part of the legacy. Sometimes we look at it in terms of what am I giving to my family members financially, but it's a legacy to me.
It's beyond that. It's beyond that.
Legacy is about empowering.
Yes, and live on from generation to generation. Improvement and, just betterment of self. Listen, ladies, I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. The evening show is really a packed show that is people focused. I think that's the main thing that we want to make sure we get out there. But guys, don't go anywhere, because we're gonna take a light break as we get into our beauty tips, brought to you by Beauty with Grace Salon and Spa. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, hello. So guys, we want to highlight the fact that when you're doing your facial, your at-home facial, your self-care, you do your steam, you do your mask, you do your scrubs, whatever, you include your neck and your chest area. That area, we call it the décolletage area. So it's your chest area, all of your neck hair and your face. So whether you're doing your scrub, you include it. So you include that area as part of your face. So like when you're wearing a shirt, this part will be open. If you're wearing a V-neck, this is the part that will be open. So you want to make sure that you're getting this area as well when you're doing your face. If some of you would have gone to get a facial done, and they should, if they're doing it properly, include your face, include your neck area. You'll realize they're massaging this area all the way up your neck and including your face as well. So the whole area we should pay attention to. So when you're massaging your face after you do your cleanse and your scrub and so on, and you're using your moisturizer or whatever it is you're using to put on your face, include your neck area, but you're not dragging your neck down, because ladies, that don't look cute. So we want to lift just as you're lifting the cheek area, you're lifting your forehead when you're applying the moisturizer. You don't ever drag nothing down. No, down is not good. Up, you want everything up. You want everything staying up. Nice and perky. So you're including the area on your chest and your neck, but you're working it, everything is coming up, and then you work the cheek and the forehead area, you work it up, everything is up, you're massaging up and away. Same thing with the neck. So you want to do your massage. If you're doing your mask as well, include at least once, include the neck area to include the mask. Of course it will be messy, but we're taking care of our full self, so that's not the issue. We'll bathe and rinse off after. So you're including the neck area, you're including your face, the whole décolletage area, you're including all of it when you're doing your facial regime. So when you're doing your steam, of course, if you could allow it to come as far down as possible, put your whole self over that bowl and let it, even if it's to let it run down, just let it be a part of the treatment, right? So that was just the tip this week, just to include your décolletage area in all of your prep, in all of your self-care, in all of your massages, and all the scrubs, and all the masks, include it. So when you're moisturizing, you're doing your face and neck and chest area. So everything is included. So until next time, remember, self-care is not selfish. We're doing this because we love ourselves, and you can only perform to your best when you're your best self. So until next time, guys, take care.
Welcome back, the evening show, the August the 2nd. I almost said August the 28th. What is happening on the 28th? Anyhow, all right. Okay, ladies. So our overarching theme is leaving a legacy, and which can address a wide spectrum of topics. So today, let's bring it home a bit. And of course, we know discipline, production, tolerance, they are the watchwords of this great country of ours, Trinidad and Tobago. And we want to dive in a bit. Of course, we celebrated Emancipation Day, August 1st, just yesterday. And today, we've come to a place where we are free, but there are some things that we need to also apply to our life to ensure that total sense of freedom from a mental aspect, and just let it overlay or cover other aspects of our life. So let's talk a bit about discipline, production, tolerance, and our personal application of it in our lives.
So for me, I'll take discipline.
Of course, there's no surprise. There is no surprise. Listen, guys, I know you don't know us yet, but oh my gosh. Go ahead, Melina.
Do we expose him, man?
Take it away.
Oh, yes, discipline. I know you mentioned just now about us being free and all of that, but I think if we are to truly embrace freedom, that it will take a measure of restriction in order for us to be free in every regard. So yes, we are free, but if you're free and you still have the same mentality, you haven't changed the way that you do things, you haven't changed anything about how you were from before, you'll continue doing exactly the same things that you were doing from before with the same mindset. So it requires a change of mind, a change of behavior, a change of how you approach different things. And discipline is more than just doing what you need to do because somebody watching you or massa over you. To me, that's the same, you're still in bondage. But discipline requires you to have a specific code of conduct. Like I remember during COVID, hairdressers were the last. It seems as if I kept saying it, like we were the last to get recess. We were in detention for this long period of time. Like everybody was getting to come out and play, and hairdressers was like, no, you still have lines to do.
Mel, I just want you to know, as much as the hairdressers felt as though they were suffering, us women were suffering as well. All right,
waiting on the hairdressers.
Yeah, we were happy to stay indoors. And we were like, come on.
A lot of people's hairstyles drastically changed.
Yeah. So yes, we were the last. It seems as if we were the last to come out. And discipline to me requires a code of conduct. Are you going to underlow, break the law? Or are you going to be disciplined and hold firm to the fact that not only is the government requiring you to do something, but above that, God requires me to obey the laws of the land. You know, and of course, Minister Diasing was not in my store. Dr. Parasaram does not live near to me. So it's not like, you're feeling like, God, they're right there, they're watching. But I decided that I was not going to thief recess before it was given to me. And so to me, your own moral compass, your code that you stand by, if this is not right, then I'm not doing it. No matter who is around. And so to me,
being done decently and in
order. So wait your turn. So to me, disciplines requires you as an individual to, it's almost as if loyalty to self. When you're doing your exercise and you don't have, well, for all who were exercising before, you don't have your gym instructor, you can't go to the gym. So are we all going to be roly-polies coming out of COVID, or am I going to do something still to be active? So it's your own personal decision to decide, your responsibility. Am I going to do this despite, even though everybody else doing it? Because trust me, as walking around ever so often when we went outside to get something, and wait now, where these ladies getting their hair done? Who doing hair? You understand?
They're going to come at you now, Melina. You go ahead.
but a lot of people found YouTube. So they say, you never know.
Good cover, Rachel. Good cover. Good cover. I mean, I'm still not getting over the roly-poly comment she just made, right?
No, but seriously, it required you to decide, am I going to do like everybody else, or am I going to stick to my guns, band my belly, and do what it is I have decided and purposed myself to do? So to me, that's where discipline comes in, and it is a matter of I'm going to do it anyway. You
And you know
understand?
what, Mel, that comes into leaving a legacy because your children as well are seeing that the government said this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And they would know that if you disobey that law,
Yes.
mommy,
Correct.
how come you're doing here?
Yeah.
And then now you
Correct.
have to create a scenario to justify your actions to your children.
Exactly. And then you
that's
have
a
no
different
moral
legacy.
authority.
No
Yeah.
moral
You have no
authority.
to be able to correct them when you want to. So this is the ability to have the moral authority to be able to say, oh no, you shouldn't.
You know, I think I want to jump in on the production aspect one time. And, you know, during the season, and we've said it before, a lot has changed for so many of us. And there were a lot of positives. I know condolences to those who may have lost a family member or a loved one. But when I say positives, I don't mean it in any rejoicing way, but I mean it in terms of a personal aspect, in terms of a change of thinking, a change of heart even. And for me, the production aspect comes in terms of we saw, there's two aspects of it that I want to discuss. We saw where people, there was a different type of love that we saw, and we see it all the time when we have any type of crisis or whatever. Where people reach out, people were now giving more to those who may have lost their jobs. People will really produce that aspect, and it's so necessary to push the production of love, if I could use such a term, especially at a time where so many people would have been maybe saddened, maybe in disbelief, or maybe some people were in a state of panic. Some people were in a state of panic, and you know, you had to then talk with them and really give them that comfort or that love that gave them the comfort to assure them that, hey, things could be better, things are going to get better, this too shall pass type of encouragement. And even in terms of production, from what, as we look inside internally now, what have we been doing with our lives? Have we been productive in the sense of how does our family members see us? I know a lot of people have now gotten the opportunity to understand their spouses in a different way that they have not before, because you had no choice.
But to spend that time, quality time.
The same thing for your children. And I heard coming out of this, a lot of people saying, family, they realize the importance of family.
Correct.
People even got a lot more productive in the kitchen, you know. A lot of Trinidadians. I was about to say, a lot of Trinidadians try doubles. I did.
I did as well. I must admit, I did as well.
I still look forward to the reopening.
You know, we want to highlight that Rachel made doubles.
I made doubles.
Because you know she's
Melina
and I cook. I'll take the sentence from that way. We cook.
I told my husband, I said, love, you're not going to be marrying me for domestic excellence. I chose the path. Yes, he knew. He knew exactly what he was getting into. I used to have longer nails because I just liked long nails, you know, pretty nails and stuff. But then I realized he liked bread. I had to learn to make bread. So that happened along the way. Before
that was part of your that was productive in that
before COVID, but I got to practice it a little more, because if you didn't make the bread or the bake, had none. And I don't know, but we had bread, we had doubles, we had fry bake, I fry bake. Let me tell you something about the fry bake. In marriage, I made fry bake a couple times. Door stoppers. 2 weeks.
Speak the truth.
Oh my word.
Door stoppers. But I found a good recipe online, and my husband was very proud of that fry bake. I can't recall which of the recipes or combinations of recipes it was, so I may not have a repeat performance. But that was productivity in the kitchen.
I agree.
No, we can talk a lot about tolerance, but there's a lady who we're going to be chatting with. Yes, stay glued, because we're going to be chatting with Mrs. The Honorable. Can I use that? All right, the very graceful.
Very graceful.
very graceful Hazel Manning, Mrs. Hazel Manning. She's going to be chatting with us. So you don't want to go anywhere. But before that, it's all about leaving a legacy. And we have a special feature for you. Keep it tuned. The Evening Show, people.
I love me a good roti. I love me a good pilau. Hi, my name is Shanice Musgrave, and I'm currently pursuing medicine and a master's in education and innovation. I attend the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, and I'm completing my master's with the University of South Wales. I have also attended the New York Institute of Technology, where I completed my first degree in biomedical engineering. And of course, throughout my childhood and teen years, I would have attended Mova Anglican, Mova Laventil Secondary, St. James Secondary, and Sixth Form Government, aka Poly. I know this might sound trivial, but since I was 8 years old, I always wanted to study medicine. I had this desire. Honestly, one day I got this medical kit from my uncle and godfather, and I just fell in love with the idea. Since then, I love to serve, and I had a love for science. I had a love more than just science. I had a love for people. I had this understanding that medicine is one thing that I should do, and it is part of my call and purpose on the earth. One of my biggest challenges was academics in some areas. I was not the student who got all ones. Biology and chemistry, I had gotten threes, grade threes, and even physics, I had gotten a 4. But guess what? I was able to get into sixth form nonetheless, and I know it is only by the grace of God. In my first year of sixth form, I passed CAPE exams. I passed them, but they were not grade ones at all. I did some self-searching, I did some assessments, and I even encountered a lot of great people during that period. I went to a conference with the late Dr. Miles Monroe. I was trying to figure out what I needed to get right. Understanding my learning style was one of my biggest challenges, and just staying motivated, because you know when you're not at the top of the class, or you know in our system when you don't get all ones, the understanding is that, well, you're not fit enough to make it to med school, or you're not fit enough to make it to engineering school, or what have you. But I want to say that I have conquered that concept, and that it is not true. Your grades do not determine your final destination. Now, when it comes to strategizing and setting goals, I believe it's very, very important. And I believe that it's important to write the vision and make it plain. I used to write my short-term, medium, and long-term goals. And I used to also write my daily task as well, because those are simple tasks, but at the end of the day, you want to ensure that you get it done. So I set my goals, and every single day, I had some sort of action plan, and I worked towards it. I even do it right now, working towards the action plan, making sure that they are surely measurable, and that you put a time to it. And I work towards it every single day until the very end, until its completion. So I want to, encourage you that setting goals is very important, and it will surely lead to success. One of my goals in the most recent years was to really take my SAT program to the next level. And I was able to see the success. I was able to see the reach, until in a few places I am a household name when it comes to SAT prep programs. So it's really important to set those goals and see them through. A lot of people would say, medicine is a lot of hard work, it's a lot of studying, it's really difficult, it's a lot of sleepless nights. But I'm here to tell you, I definitely get sleep. So I would say, don't go into medicine thinking that you're not going to sleep at all. You need to find your strategy, and I have found my strategy. And I would say, to find your strategy, make sure you understand who you are as a learner, make sure you understand who you are as a person, and work smart and not hard. Best advice I have been given is actually from my father, when he would always say, keep the end in mind. Whatever you set out to do, keep the end in mind. And that speaks about the target. What is that goal that you're trying to achieve? What is it that you are pressing towards? So keep the end in mind. And every time you work towards something and you keep the finish line in mind, trust me, you're going to achieve it, because it is going to give you that extra fight. It is going to give you that extra boost and that extra energy as necessary and needed to complete it till the very end. My support team is my parents, my brothers, my family, my fiance, his family, my good friends, my sisters, my brothers in Christ. The circle is not large, They are like, that backbone, that cushioning that you need. Even when you're going and you feel like you're getting weak, they uphold you. So I believe a support team is very, very important. One of my most recent and greatest accomplishments is to be able to begin walking in my purpose and destiny again, because sometimes we make mistakes or we fall off the wagon for a little bit, we get distracted, we listen to the wrong voices, and then we are so afraid of getting back up and pushing forward. So I am saying, to be able to be upper functioning the way I am now is a great accomplishment. To be in medical school, just completed my first year of medical school, it is a great accomplishment. To be completing my master's, even while literally completing this first year of medical school and going into my second year, that is a great accomplishment. To be able to reach out and counsel and motivate and empower others through Christ and also through academics via my tutoring business and preparing students for SATs. Those are some of my greatest accomplishments. It is important to leave a legacy, because without a legacy, there is no succession. Without a legacy, there's no foundation in place for those who come after. Without a legacy, literally a people perish, a nation die. Because from my understanding, one man is a nation. And if I cannot leave a legacy, then I leave my nation in ruins.
Clean space is the highest priority during this time. We provide state-of-the-art professional disinfecting services. We offer a choice of services to fit your needs. Disinfecting services, sanitizing services, deep cleaning, electrostatic disinfection services, and much more. Save your time, save your money, save yourself. Visit our website or call us for your next cleaning service today.
Hey guys, welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning into the evening show. Now, as mentioned earlier, we have a special guest with us, and she is the graceful Mrs. Hazel Manning. Listen, she's a lady of great achievement and so many titles. Many call her virtuous, and she has been the supportive wife of the late People's National Movement leader and fourth Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Patrick Augustus Manning. Now, Mrs. Manning entered the Senate as People's National Movement Senator after the 2001 election. She served as Minister of Education, subsequently as Minister of Local Government. But there's just so much to her as a person. Now, Mrs. Manning is a certified John Maxwell coach, speaker, and a trainer. They are founder of the leadership firm TLF and lead consultant. And I can attest, as after having conversations with her prior to this, that she, listen, when you finish talking with Mrs. Hazel Manning, you feel empowered. You feel as though you can just conquer the world. So, Mrs. Hazel Manning, welcome so much to the evening show, our very first episode. We are so happy to have you here.
Thank you very much, Mel. I too am very impressed with you. Having heard you and having chatted with you. You're a young woman on the go, on the make, and I'm now for the first time meeting your partners, and they too. They're going to change Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, amen. We agree. Okay, ladies, get your blush out. Get your blush out. Now, listen, Mrs. Manning, we've been, I think the overarching theme of the evening show is about leaving a legacy. And I know you have so much more to do, but I can say for Melina and for Rachel, you have already left such a legacy.
Yes.
I want to say for all, but to empower women. I think as women, we have looked at you and we have been empowered in some way. And as we start, I just want to get an idea of what has it. Did you have like a vision, a mission board? What was it like for you as you started your journey into life?
That's a way back then. Place. You wouldn't believe it, but I was the most shy young lady out.
Wow.
I grew up as an only child. I was a single parent. My mother brought me up, and I was really painfully shy. I really developed into a little less shy as I got married and became very involved in the politics. And even in the early days of the politics, I was not very much part of it because I spent the time bringing up my children.
Wow.
Because they could not be orphans. They had a father who was busy outside there looking after the nation. And it was my job to look after the children. It was only after they left and went on to university that I became more involved in politics. So at that point in time, I became a minister and began working in the national interests.
Now, yesterday we celebrated Emancipation Day, August 1st. And, of course, it would have come off the heels of so many great men with a vision, with a plan for our nation. And I know you're very focused, and you love your country. I know that we've had so many conversations. And my question to you would be, and you mentioned how important it is being there for your children, without saying those words, right? I think as we've seen throughout society, women these days, ladies, you all could jump in here with me. We have those who we separate being a mother if we have children from the business life or the I want my career. My career is most important, and sometimes we neglect that other job, that other calling, that other very important responsibility as we grow the future. What would you say, Mrs. Manning, to other women who may be finding it hard to find that balance in terms of motherhood and a career?
I would say that you don't give up.
Yeah.
And I'm agreeing with you that there's that need for a plan, even though my planning came late in the game, but there's that need for a plan, and there's that need to get support.
Yes.
Support of your family, support of good friends, to be able to make it, to move on and to move forward. If that support is not there, it's difficult. And as women, I think we need the support even more.
Do you think it's any different now in terms of the workplace? Because some women really find it hard or harder to manage working and being a mom. I mean, now that we get to work from home in some scenarios, it's a little easier, but even working from home with children, especially, is a challenge.
It is a challenge. Bringing up children is a challenge. It will always be a challenge. So whether you work or you don't work, or you're a housewife like most of our parents were, the modern woman who is now having to balance the two, working and looking after the children, it is going to be a challenge. How we do it, we've got to have the support to do it.
But then there are a lot of single parents, single women, and they don't have that network to lean on. And I know that's one of the challenges.
And when Patrick was alive, the issues that I couldn't deal with, I would just pass them on to him. He would come and say, "You've got a problem with something," and I would say, "Go talk to your father."
Right.
And then he was no longer there.
Right.
And in that year after he passed, I had serious issues in how to manage and how to cope.
Wow.
And I always say to people that the people or the person I really respected was the single mother.
Mm.
How does she do it alone? Especially looking after men, looking after boys.
Yeah.
How do they do it?
Mhm.
And but I realized that I was able to survive again because of support. And it is not wise to try to do it alone,
Yeah.
because it's difficult to do it alone. And there must be some auntie, some tanty, some grandmother, some
Somebody.
uncle, somebody somewhere who would, even if it's just to speak with, somebody
Mhm.
sit and say, listen, I'm having trouble. How do you think I should do this? Even if it's just for that. You can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Living is not an alone thing.
Yes.
When you team, you tend to go further and do better.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to ask, because I think sometimes it's a bit challenging to even find a person or persons that you could probably lean on or find that shoulder to lean on. How do you, let's just say you don't have the family, close-knit family to say, okay, I need a breather today and I need a minute, because you're on your own, or because I remember when my husband was doing his master's, I felt like a single parent. And sometimes you try to do so much to fill the gap. How do you go about finding individuals that would fit the position of a rock or a crutch at that period? As you said, when your husband wasn't there, you would have had to navigate your way through that period. How do you do that search?
Yeah. Before I became a coach, I would tell you trial and error.
Wow,
You,
okay.
you find a friend and you start chatting, and then you would, as time goes on, and that's what Mel said when she started. These were people who are tried and tested,
Right.
trial and error. Having become a coach, I realized that there's a systematic approach where you can also do assessments. There are all kinds of instruments outside there. One of the instruments we use is the DISC assessment, where you identify the personality of the person. This person is a D or an I or an S or a C, as the case may be. And understanding the personality of that person, the profiling of that person, and the behaviors expected of that person, you then know that this is the person I could maybe get along with better. But at the end of the day, again, it is always trial and error.
Yeah.
It is always that willingness to trust, to open up, to trust, and if things don't go well, to retreat and to start again without bitterness, without rancor, and to start again. So you have to be just vulnerable at times, just asking for help.
Now, Mrs. Manning, you mentioned the DISC assessment. For those of us who maybe not the wiser, what does the acronym stand for?
It's basically, I'm sure you've heard of Myers-Briggs.
Yes.
It used to be an instrument that was used long ago. This is a modern approach. I'm very much involved in the John Maxwell program. I'm a John Maxwell coach. When we do our workshops, we do the John Maxwell model. And one of the instruments used at that time that we use as we do our workshops is what's called the DISC assessment. It is basically an instrument that's developed in the 1920s or so by a Dr. Marston, and it's used to assess your personality, your behaviors, and encourage you to build relationships, encourage you how to communicate with others who are different from you. So it is one of those models developed by psychologists, psychiatrists, behavioral scientists, etc. And really a very useful instrument as you lead in your home, as you lead in your workplace, as some people who have called the national service, as you interact with people. So it's a good instrument to know. You Google the internet and you find it.
Yeah.
Preliminary or elementary programs, and you can read up on it and get a clear sense of who you are and why you are. And then if you understand your why, you can then you have purpose and you can go ahead to be successful.
I think that's very necessary, and I know the ladies would agree with me in terms of knowing who you are. I think when you zero in on who you are, then you better understand purpose. And I think in understanding yourself, it allows you to now respect the process that others are going through.
Yes.
It allows you to respect others in a way that we're different, and that's okay.
And in respecting it, you interact differently.
Yes.
Before I said, why does she speak so much? And then now I would say, she's an I. And that means that there's a certain behavior, a certain profiling, a certain attitude that you would see, and you understand that's what she is. Mm-hmm. Therefore, now how do I deal with her? I will then deal with her in a particular way. Mm-hmm. For somebody who is chatty and charismatic and people-oriented, I will deal differently to somebody who's very quiet and very reserved and very shy. They tend to get a little upset, a little withdrawn if you come on too loud and too much.
Because it becomes too much for them.
Yeah. Yep. And that's who they are. You have to accept people as to what they are and who they are. It helps very much to in relationships, with your husband and wife, your children. If you get a sense of who the other personality is, you then deal differently. Yes. You don't try to make over people.
Wow.
And that is a key point.
Yes. Yeah, because
she touched something there, so I know you all have so much for like.
I hope your husband is listening.
Yes, my husband is nodding. He's in the back like, now I get it. That's why she's like that.
Yes, because sometimes we tend to be less tolerable of people because they're different from us.
Yes.
And so, she too loud. I can't understand why. And this one, she's so aggressive. But like if we take the time to understand why the person is the way they are and what makes up the individual, then you'll understand too that you are appearing to be in a particular way to somebody else.
Exactly. Because we generally just project ourselves onto other people.
Yes.
So sometimes we think, okay, like me, I like to talk. And then I might meet someone who is not as talkative or is not as warm or open. And I would think, but why are they so curt? Or why are they so just abrupt? But the fact is, their language is, let's get down to the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
That's who they are. And if you understand that that's who they are, you just accept it and you move on. Mm-hmm. And especially with your children or your spouse.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't try to make them over. That's who they are. So you meet them where they are. Right. And then you walk that journey with them.
It's really so funny. There's a small story I remember recently. I like pancakes, and I would think that's an important thing. It's a quick, nice breakfast, and I would do it for a special occasion. And my husband was like, you like pancakes, right? It's not that he wouldn't eat it, but he's like, it's special to you.
That's his thing. Yeah.
He preferred to have some bacon saltfish, some burjol, Yeah. So it's simple things, it's the little things we have to be listening out for.
Yeah. That's how the relationship then becomes more congenial.
Yes.
And he begins to think that, you understand me and you taking care of me and you watching my back and you
exactly.
It's more comfortable rather than fretting and fussing all the time because you're trying to make me over into something that
exactly.
Mrs. Manning, you said you were more reserved or quiet personality.
I still am.
You are. So I would use the word gentle spirit because that's what I
very graceful.
Yes.
Very
much so.
What led you though into the field of coaching though and consulting and even founding the leadership firm?
I think because maybe I'm a natural coach.
Okay.
I spend all my time listening and that's what a coach does really, just listen. And without even giving advice, just listen while you go through your process. And I really do that. I'm not loud and I'm an S. And that tells you what an S is. Really very much team, very quiet, very reserved. and that's who I am. And therefore appreciate who I am and live who I am.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what I said. You're asking how I became involved.
Yeah.
Because that's who I am, and that's the service that I provided to my children, and to my husband. I was the sounding board, and they would come and say things that they would not say to others. What do you think about so and so?
Right.
And get a hearing. That's who I was. I still am.
So Auntie Hazel, I want to ask. I finally got to say it.
Listen, Mrs. Manning. Mrs. Manning, from day one, Melina heard you were going to be here, and she's saying, and you're gonna see. Listen, she's been saying, I cannot wait. I just want to say Auntie Hazel. That's between you two. When you meet, you do you.
That's what the children called me when I was in
So I want to ask, I heard you say that you said that when your husband was in carrying out the responsibilities over the nation, you were home with the children. How did you know, or what was your time frame in terms of their age group or in terms of your own age to know, okay, now I'll do and accomplish my goals, accomplish my dreams? Because I believe that being a mother, that's your first responsibility after being a wife, obviously. And so taking care of your children, nurturing them is your responsibility. But how do you put that timer on to know, okay, I'm going to shift my focus now, or share the plates with the scales with something else, with my career or with my hobbies? Or how do you know when to make that switch?
I looked after the children, but I also worked. I was a public servant working in the ministry. So that I worked and I looked after the children. Right. I was not involved in the politics. As for making the switch, when the children went off to university, my husband made the switch for me. He came home one day and he said to me, I'm going to make you the Minister of Education. And I said, who are you? You must be flipping crazy. You've got to be crazy. He said, I said, I can't do that. He says, you could do it. And I said, no way. He said, but I've watched you in operation and you are really very good.
Wow.
I said, no way. And I said, no way up till the day until I was sworn in. No way.
I can imagine you driving in and he's like, you sure? No, you sure?
So the shift was made for me. I didn't make the shift.
Okay.
The minute I got there and started to work, I worked. When I have to work, whatever I do really, really well. I put my all in it. And then my children were not there, they were abroad. So I had no children to look after.
Right.
That was it.
So your focus could have now gone towards being that minister.
I presume education became my child at that point.
Okay.
And how important would you say it was or is to have such a support, or even someone who believes in you even more than you believe in your own capabilities?
I think he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Right.
Wow.
And I presume, there's this saying that when you're in the frame, you don't see the picture.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So you don't really see who you are, what you are, why you are. And someone from the outside looking on would be able to say, I know you could do it. Yeah.
When you didn't have to do all of those other things and you had time with you and yourself alone, how do you spend your time?
You mean like now that
yeah.
I tell you what a great day. See, like today that it rained all day. A rainy day, lying in bed with a book. I read. I'm really a tremendous reader, and maybe a book a week.
Right.
So I really read a lot, and that's what I do. I am an avid reader.
Listen, we had such a good time, I should say, rather.
Yeah, this was amazing. Yeah.
Manning. And listen, we could not stop that interview short. And that's why we're going to definitely have a continuation, a part 2 for you.
Yes.
And share some more with us.
So the date, Sunday the 9th.
Yes.
Same time, 6 p.m.
Same place, same ladies, same faces.
We'll be here. It's the continuation, ladies.
So thank you guys so much for viewing our very first episode.
Yes.
Yes.
To the Repeat Caribbean Cyber Stream. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like, follow our Instagram pages. All the information is right there. It's right below.
Yes.
Right there.
So be sure to follow, subscribe, and like. Thank you so much. Cudjoe, Rachel Cowie-Clarke, Melina de Silva saying bye for now.
Bye.